I cracked my nozzle while doing some non-planar printing, because that's a risk factor you have to deal with. For reference, if you get the settings wrong, it'll go down and crack. So I'm printing a new one in polycarbonate. And while I'm waiting for that, I thought I'd talk for a moment about some of my latest prototypes. This one was printed in polycarbonate, and it's got too strong of a force curve for sure. But what's interesting about it is, well, first of all, the tolerances are all different. But the spring is actually quite similar, surprisingly similar, I should say, to the PETG spring. Just a smidge stronger. And the force curve definitely starts stronger by default, so you don't really need the pretensioner, or as much pretensioner with that. But I'll be doing more experiments with polycarbonate. But I also experimented with, here, let's put this down so you can see. Turn this on. Man, getting kind of messy. Might be time for a cleanup of the workspace here. So just let me turn this around the other way. So I've got two experiments here. Experiment one, I printed a full key switch in TPU. So this is just the top in TPU, and the rest of that's PETG. And according to a not-so-blind study I did with my family, this one is the best feeling of all of them. And then this one is the stem in TPU, and it doesn't really grab onto the key switch strong enough. It's slippery, and it tends to rotate. But that's a solvable problem, right? But this one also feels very nice. Maybe a little too soft, but that might be because this. I don't even know which prototype that was. I just threw it in one that was sitting on my desk from a while back that, for whatever reason, some part of it didn't turn out. But the body was fine, so I kept the body, but I don't remember what the settings were on that one, because ultimately it wasn't worth saving. But that one feels pretty nice. Polycarbonate is way too strong. And this is like the latest actual prototype, and it feels pretty good. My daughter thought this one was the best in one of the tests I did with her. And it does feel really nice, and that's what you'd get if you just printed it out my scripts today with the defaults. And this one is very, very similar. I think it's just like a slightly thinner spring. And it also feels quite nice. I think this one probably feels the most like the Cherry without the click and the tactility. And then this is basically the same as what I've most recently uploaded. So this is the latest. This is what you get if you downloaded the file from Thingiverse today. And the rest are prototypes. Now let me talk about this one that's really tall, because it's probably the most interesting. That is Capricorn PTFE tubing. And one of the springs and this is the same spring as the normal prototype, but I added a little cup on there to hold the PTFE, and that seems to have strengthened the spring quite a bit because less of the spring arms are available, so it needs to be adjusted there. But this one's super smooth. I mean, besides, it's also got way too much travel, but that's depending on how long you cut the PTFE. It really is super smooth. So I'm going to try improving this a bit. I think I can print a keycap that just fits right on top of that stem. And that will save a lot of space and make it basically normal height. And I lost one of these keycaps fell off. Yeah, this one. It doesn't hold very well. If you look at the height of a Cherry MX keycap, which is that one right there, and then one of these, which are they'll be about the same height. It's just a smidge taller. I think I can fix that too. I don't know if I want to, or if it's worth it fixing it. It's only like, 1.5 millimeters taller, maybe 2 millimeters taller. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I need to do a little bit more experimentation. What I want to try is just printing a little ring in TPU and see what that does. But I'm currently waiting for that nozzle to finish printing, and then I'll get back to work.